out the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
It's amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California has won the big game.
5 seconds left in the game. You believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnham.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vane, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Fry with Virginia Tech Football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
Rick Watson's got the mic, he's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a new river thing. Virginia Tech fire, rapid pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as a valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big dog sports talk, feel the bark. He's got the scoop, faster than a sprint. Calling plays like a coach, every word's a hint. From the courts to the fields, the stories unfold. Rick's play-by-play, worth its weight in gold. With a laugh and a growl, he'll pull you in. Big Dog's podcast, let the games begin. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the bark, feel the bite.
Hey, how are you? Good morning. That's going to start over again because I didn't get here in time. There we go. How are you? It is the Finally Friday edition, hence the logo that says, finally, it's Friday. We're clever like that here on the program. Good morning. Welcome to Friday. We got a loaded show. My goodness gracious. After just an unbelievable episode of Pop last night where we had the most live viewers since we've been creating the one-off per week at night. And we had the most people in chat that we've had. So it's growing. Coach Elmo joins us at 6:30. He was with us last night. Mike Ashley at 7 today with the open mic. Jen joins us at 7:30, and Dwight Vick, who was also on Pop last night, will join us at 8. So we appreciate everybody moving their schedules up just a little bit. Yesterday we had a short show, had to head to Radford early. Good morning. How are you, Stephen? Good to see you. Hey, Manny. Say hello to Manny. So we had our all-staff meeting yesterday, so we had to cut the show just a little bit short. So, what's up, Haroon? We are sports, primarily in the morning, entertainment, et al., you name it. Welcome. Please subscribe. We are a friendly community here on the program. Our director of athletics, Robert Lindbergh, not a big trade secret. Retired, announced his retirement to us yesterday. Then it was released by the university. What's up, JJK? No, I do not. I do not play Fortnite. My apologies. I'm not really a modern gamer. So Corey Duran, our deputy AD, will take over, and Robert will serve until December 31st, and then Corey will take over on January 1st. So that was the big news yesterday toward the end. What is up, T-Bird? Hope you're doing well. Thanks, JJK. You do as well. Please subscribe. You're welcome anytime, even though I may not play Fortnite. I think it's cool. I think it's cool people can find anything like that kind of gives them a distraction. Hopefully this show becomes a positive distraction in your life. We all have our hobbies, our niches. So yeah, I think it's cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, JJK. I was always a huge, back, I'm a little older than you, JJK, but back in the old standing arcade days, and then mostly sports video games, things like that. Later on, I'm trying to think if I ever really got into anything that wasn't sports related from a video game. The old Mario games, my all-time favorite game is Galaga. By the way, our Ryan Pry, the attorney, fan question of the week. It was, if you did not pull for your favorite college football team, who would win? Guess who won? Strange. Alabama rallied. Alabama won by 2 votes yesterday. I didn't know there was that much affinity for the Crimson Tide, but Alabama won the fan poll, created by Brandon Wong. Thank you. I am a radio announcer, Homer. Please subscribe. Funny you say that. I'm the longtime boys of the Radford Highlanders. Oh, that's cool, JJK. Good job. Happy soccer. What's up, Crazy Country Cracker? That's a great name. Roll Tide indeed. They won. They put together like and it was all different people, because I went and checked on our professional door text line. By the way, today's the last day, professional door here locally. You got to the end of business. If you don't do it, if you have a garage door, you want to get checked out, take advantage of $40 off preventative maintenance, and you can schedule it for any time the rest of the year. But you have to tell them you heard us talking about it. You're down to one more day. Call up there. Call to Travis at 674-0008, 674-0008. Get locked in. But Alabama rallied. They're the team that this audience said if they could not pull for Tech or Virginia or Tennessee or Ohio State, whoever your favorite school is, you would root for Alabama. How about that? You think Scotty Scott sabotaged our... That's what somebody said. From Rick Watson, Roddy, and his love of Highlanders University to Palm Coast, where we love it loud, proud, no dilly-dally, just straight big dog energy. BDST is live and locked in. All right, so Morris, you invited us, so I think the wife is already saying that next spring we're going to head your way. So we're not asking, we're just going to show up. She wants to just take the trip down, take some time off next spring, and we're going to come see you in the Palm Coast. So There you go. It's your fault. I told you when you met her and you put it in her ear at the bash, it was going to happen. So there you are. We'll prepare. Also, Morris's idea of our BDST-ish type of massive tailgate for the Pitt game took off last night in Pop. Dwight said he's going to try to be there. Chris Lester's going to be there. Boy, Chris was great last night. All right. Well, looks like it's going to happen. I know we're a lot of months away. Got to get through winter. I got to get through basketball, and got a lot of things, got to stay alive. But, yep, it looks like it's going to happen. What's up, T-Bird again? I remember when Dad brought home the very first video game, TV Tennis. Yeah, black and white. 2 vertical dashes chasing a moving dot. I do too, man. What was that called? Pong? No. Was it Pong? Yeah, I played that. And this first sports game was that horrible-looking basketball game where they had it looked the same, except it was taller dudes, and they had these straight arms. And oh, by the way, good news. Since we have been over 1,000 subscribers, yesterday I got the official notice from YouTube that we are now guaranteed at least 3 years of having this channel up and live as long as I decide to keep doing it. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Who knew, right?
Oh, my. Oh, no. Oh, no. That was out of nowhere.
So, now the question is, am I going to be doing it that long? I don't know. Depends on our sponsors. Who do I root for? No, we're this crazy country. This is ACC Southeast. Tech is in our backyard, 20 minutes away. Most people pull for Tech. I have been a lifelong UCLA fan. Not as much anymore for different reasons, but and there's a long story as to why that's the case. But there you go. Welcome to the program, by the way. Like I said, please subscribe. We appreciate all contributors. Morris says, I put feelers out. We need a landing spot for the tailgate. Yeah, I know. I think Hokey Bob just needs to pick up the mantle and be that guy. I mean, I don't know why not. Debut of the Godzilla poster. I did that last night. Wayne did notice. He was down in chat. Took him a while. Wasn't going to say anything. It's Godzilla being used in a Northwestern beer from the state of Washington called Godzilla Head Beer. I think it's an IPA. But I thought it was a cool poster. And it only cost me $6. So, and everybody knows my affinity for Godzilla. What's up, Bobby? Good to see you. No, I have not. Bobby asked me if I've seen Brand New Day yet. But I will. Hey, you're from Arkansas. Well, my wife's family, crazy country. I'm not exactly sure of the family members. I know that's bad. But she's from the Southwest. She grew up in Bossier City, Louisiana. Or should I say Bossier City? So she's got family in Texas and a bunch in Arkansas. And 4 of her family members have Arkansas season tickets. Once I get to know them, now that I'm newly married, I'm going to ask for one of those Arkansas hats and wear it during the show. You know, with the Razorback on it. Is that a Tegu with morning breath? See, maybe. How about Marva's Tegu? That was pretty cool, wasn't it? It looked like a gator. From the first, I thought it was like a baby gator, but no, it's a Tegu. And family fencing. We'll be back as our studio sponsor for year 2. Thank you so much. Great growing company. They were the first sponsor we ever had, 540-200-8294. Family Fencing NRV. Also returning, McClellan Chiropractic, Mark Hunley, that old back popper. 155 Walters Drive, sponsor of our Always Poppin' chat room. Get it? Poppin' because he's a chiropractor. Right? See? Poppin'. Anders Big Dog Pop.
Oh,
See?
oh my. Oh, no. Oh, no. That was out of nowhere.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Lawson's Mobile Home Supply, 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg. Give James a call, 540-301-8011. He'll return for year 2. Manufactured parts for your home. Working on some new things. Anybody who thinks you want to sponsor this wonderful program, this growing program, please reach out. For the love of God, call me. NRV Super Bowl, 540-382-5525. Leagues are forming now. Men's, women's, mixed leagues for kids. No, I'm not joining a league. I just had a good night. Sundown Electric, one of the best reputations of any business in the area. Smith Brothers done a great job keeping their dad's legacy going. Sundown Electric, honest, affordable, quality work. The Ready Set Fund, Bob Christ, the number 11 at Gmail, ReadySetFund.com, and it's how a series of text messages can help your organization raise money in 5 days. Look at what happened with Floyd County. The softball team raised $4,300. Check it out. It's a pretty cool program. ReadySetFund.com. I've already told you about Professional Door once. I'm going to do it again. Today's the last day to get the $40 off. 674-0008. It's a race against time. Don't be caught behind. If a gecko can sell Geico, can't a Tegu pedal Timu? Oh my goodness. Yes. That was pretty good. It's pretty good. Well, I'll begin the show that I wear the Arkansas Razorback hat with Suey Pig. Oh, absolutely. 100%. Of course I will. Is that even a question, Thunder? National Bank member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of this program, and me, 35 years. Sure hope they come back for year 2. And reach out to Larry Ramsey. Little River Heating and Air, Charles Lee, 540-553-2971. Get your air units and pretty soon your heat units checked. How great are these evenings, by the way, where it's in the 50s, upper 50s? So nice out there right now, beautiful days. And I'm stoked because this weekend is the jet ski event, Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. I got to reach out to Jonathan Sweet today and see if he'll come on next week. He's going to be out there. The AJSA Southern Summer Series, they've been prepping for this, and they are so excited. It's going to be a massive weekend. Gates open at 9:30 on Saturday. The gates open at 9:30 on Saturday, followed by the opening ceremony at 10 a.m., and then racing at 10:10. Competition is going to include the Pro Ski 1050, the Pro 1100. I'm going to be competing in that Pro 1100. Between races, fans can watch the freestyle competition and exhibitions. I got a feeling that's what Jonathan's going to be doing. It's free and open to the public. But you have to have admission to Claytor Lake Park, which is just $7, and they're going to continue racing on Sunday. AJSARacing.com if you want to head out. Watch some water skiers do something that I could never even imagine doing. Is that everybody? Is that all of our peeps? Top Shelf Apparel, Montgomery County Chamber, Family Fencing, McClellan. Is that everybody? Professional Door. Louise Baker, we love Louise. Louise, I think, is back. Yeah. I think that's everybody. Coach Elmo will join us here in about 10 minutes. If your dad's behind you, if your mother's in front of you, which way are you moving back or forth? To the side. To the side, jump up. But again, Pop was fun last night. If you missed it, Dwight was great. Chris Lester was unbelievably outstanding. And Coach Elmo jumped on as well after we got going. No Morris last night. Morris stood us up. I mean, everybody was saying, hey, where's Morris? I said, I don't know. Aren't you golfing today, Morris? I'm not mistaken. Today's Morris's golf day. I believe that's right. Thank you, Wayne. Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? It's in a spot where it'll always be seen.
Did y'all see Daddy's comment today?
That's me right there. It's me right there. It's from last night. Big dog popping up on my screen for. Yeah, it's Godzilla Head Beer. Apparently up in the state of Washington. But I thought it was cool, so I got it for $6. Any day is Morris's golf day. Correct. Absolutely correct. Yeah, I am going to. And that's 2 questions already on the professional door text line about brand new day. Yeah, I'm going to see it. I'm a superhero geek, so yeah, Marvel guy in particular. Although this is technically Sony, because they own the rights to Spider-Man. They share the rights percentage with Disney and Marvel. I think it's going to be an entertaining movie. I've heard some mixed reviews about it. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to see the Odyssey. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to see one of them. I'm going to see the superhero movie. I don't think I have much interest in the Odyssey. Morris says, sorry, it was crispy yesterday after golf. Oh, you had golf yesterday. And then Karen had dinner plans. I understand. Oh, almost. You're in trouble. Isn't that a steal? Isn't that a steal, Wayne? $6. There was a green one and a red one. I think they have 2 different flavors. And I thought the green one looked cool. Because, you know, he is greenish, right? Godzilla, dark green. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. And the story behind it, the dude who was selling it, they actually had to get it permission to use. So they did what they needed to do to get that image out there on their merch. They had shirts too, but I like that better. Thunder says, I found a moose drool from Missoula, Montana years ago, and it's a shame it's not available in the South. It goes great with fried foods. Speaking of Montana, where's Robert? I've not seen him in a while. I've not seen him in a while. By the way, T-Bird, I'm going to reach out to some of those contacts that you sent me. Potential sponsors, etc., etc. Yeah, yes, I am. Yes, I am. I appreciate all the support and all the people who's committed to come back for year number 2. Yep. All right. Coach Elmo. I mean, this feels like a middle of the week show. Coach Elmo, Mike Ashley, open mic, Jen, and then Dwight Vick. That's a lot of good stuff right there. Hold on. What is today? It's Friday. I mean, did I send that to the right email for Coach Elmo? Yeah. There we go. It's a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. Good way to finish the week. I feel like I owe it to you after having the bolt yesterday at 7:20ish. I hate that feeling. I hate having to end the show early. That was all day too. And then when Robert, he left after his opening statement, and then later on he came back with his wife, and then I was like, okay, something's going on here, you know. It is an all-star cavalcade. I like to think every day here on the program is a cavalcade. What's up, Brian? Oh, no. Hey, why don't you add a Saturday show as well? Okay, sure. Big Dog overextended. We're going to do some Saturday stuff. Once we get going with football, if there needs to be an emergency broadcast, we'll do that with Dwight if something unforeseen happens with Tech football. And there's that gentleman, Coach Elmo. We're seeing each other at night, and here we are spending time early together, early morning the next day, Coach. People are really going to start talking now.
I'll tell you what, if it weren't for the happy hours down here, I might as well move to Radford or Ryder or wherever.
I'm going to say, just come on out here right out. You'd love it out here.
Yeah. Oh, no, listen. Only problem is the last 2 times I came up, I tried to go fishing and it just rained the whole weekend. So I'm going to try to do it one more time this weekend. I'm coming back up.
Well, let's see. Well, we look good, don't we? Weather-wise, where are we here?
Well, it's supposed to be.
Yeah, we should be okay. Should be okay. Good luck. Not Sunday though. It's supposed to rain all day Sunday. So
well, that's a problem.
The
weather, of course, if it's storms, thunderstorms, that's the biggest issue.
Oh,
light rain.
really?
I don't have a problem with the light rain. And then the weather's so fluctuating around that river, and
it is.
It's thunderstorms, as wives' tales say, they follow the rivers. And but there's I'm going up to UVA scrimmage Saturday. I'm going to base out of Roanoke and just drive up there early in the morning because they have
okay.
They have an 11 o'clock scrimmage, and then at 1:45 they have a big some type of barbecue for former players and whatever invited. So
very cool. Very cool. Was that something you got from the coaching staff, or did the university reach out to you?
No, I get, Jerry Capone, I still think he's assistant athletic director, and he'd been there, since the mid 80s. He really has. He's been there in 87 when I got the job there, he was the director of football ops, basically, for George. Charger recruiting and things. And he's always stayed in touch with me, always. And he's put me on the mailing. I get emails from UVA football talking about events and things of that nature. So it's really kind of cool. And because of Jerry, he's kept me on there. He's always reached out. And now the director of football ops, Bland, I can't remember his last name. He was a former high school coach, and I can call, he'll stay in touch. He'll text me and say, hey, we're having a get together. They've been very encouraging about, I think the last time I went up there was Danny Wilmer, Celebration of Life 2 years ago. And it was a real first class, Danny Wilmer, great coach for UVA, JMU. He signed the Clark kid, the receiver, and the big linebacker that played for the Cowboys at JMU. And JMU beat Virginia in George's first year. And the talent that JMU had, they got 2 NFL great players on the JMU football team that had just started football, 10 years prior. The football program was only about 10 years old. And Danny had a lot to do with the recruiting and that's why George hired him. George hired him at UVA because they ended up beating him, and he saw the kind of players that JMU had and his reputation in the state. And that 58 corridor, man, from Emporia all the way down to Danville and Martinsville, and you talk about a string of great players in the 80s, 90s that he had a lot to do with, and he had passed away. It was a great program. It was a great celebration of life. They've stayed in touch, and I was the only coach there. Tom O'Brien, he's living in North Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
But for the most part, And then I went up when they had George Welch's celebration of life. Went up there, and a lot of the former coaches, UVA coaches, were there, and things of that nature. So it's always a good time. Chris Slade's on the staff, as I mentioned last night. Sean Morris. So I get to see those guys. Terry Kirby usually comes back. A couple of guys that I signed. A kid named David Sweeney, who out of Salem High School started for UVA. He's a fullback. Not a heavily recruited kid by today's standards. Probably was a 2-3 star type player. And a couple of other players that I signed for UVA that their sons have walked on the football team. So that's really kind of cool.
That is cool. That is cool.
Yeah. So, they stay pretty close and pretty in touch. So I've always appreciated that. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we'll get a nice scouting report, see what they look like,
Yeah,
that'll be good. That'll be really good. I want to hear what you think of.
I was up there last spring. I saw them practice last spring and watched them. Just the immense improvement of the offensive line. It was night and day. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to seeing their running backs. They got the Lewis kid, Peyton Lewis, out of Salem High, transfer from Tennessee. He didn't play a whole lot at Tennessee, and again, you got to be careful because sometimes those guys, hopefully, can be productive for Virginia because those guys cost you. They cost a whole lot more than, let's say, I'm going to take running back from Middle Tennessee State.
You worry about those guys, don't you, a little bit, just because of the cost thing? They couldn't.
It's the value. It's about the value.
The value. Yeah.
Their value in terms of, because now out of high school, the good news is they know the kid because they recruited them, like I'm sure Virginia Tech, everybody, the Virginia Tech at Salem High. So you know what you're getting as far as the kid and the person. And went to Tennessee, and he did not have a whole. I was on the PFF looking at him, and he does not have a lot of snaps. Like they took a kid out of the portal from Middle Tennessee. He had 140 plus carries, and I think I don't know, I have it here. I don't want to bore you or waste your time, but Lewis only had 71 rushing attempts for the year. So, he was a part-timer. Did some returners, did some returning, and, good-looking kid. It's kind of funny after watching, because they were really bragging about the kid from Middle Tennessee State. I was listening to Greg Roberts' show, and they're reporting from their camp, which is real early, was from the spring. They've been really – so I went and I did one on the PFF, evaluated him. He's a – I'm not going to get into the total evaluation on him, but he's a good back, solid back. Can catch a ball, most swings and flares and check downs and things of that nature. He's not tooting. Neither one of them. Even Peyton Lewis is not tooting in my eyes. I don't see it. I think Tootin was a steal as a running back. Because he can do everything. Protect, catch the ball. You could have put him in the slot as a receiver, and he could have been effective. He had that kind of talent. But so I'm looking forward to going up there.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Yeah. T-Bird saying, Coach, you should go to Whitethorn. It's a beaver dam mid-river. Usually have beavers swim around while you're there. Great fishing. I don't know. Whitethorn.
Where's Whitethorn?
I don't know. T-Bird, give us more. T-Bird knows everything. So we'll find out.
Hey, I'm in.
Yeah.
The spot at Parrot, when I go down to the Orvis store in Roanoke, those guys are really great. Particularly one gentleman, he does all the guiding and on the rivers, the James and the New. And he told me, he goes, I didn't realize it, but he told me that is one of the widest spots on the river as far as the running through the state of Virginia, the river flowing north. And it is an absolutely beautiful spot where I go fishing at Parrot.
This is in McCoy, they say. This is Heath saying it's in McCoy, across from Kentland Farms, right? Which Tech owns, right across from Kentland Farms. So you're close. Okay. You're close.
Yeah, that's it's in the area. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Of course, Florida man, we know Steve Spurrier. We'll talk about Steve Spurrier when Jen's on here. Yeah. You mentioned Tom O'Brien. I always had great interviews with Tom O'Brien. He was a terrific coach. He doesn't get talked about enough. He was kind of low key when you talk to him, but he was terrific, wasn't he, Coach O'Brien?
Another impact on the state of Virginia, because you look at the 60s and 70s, and the early 80s, geez, football in the state of Virginia with the two major universities was an afterthought. I mean, consistently losing more than winning, no bowls, no TVs. Virginia Tech was an independent. Virginia was 27 losing seasons, And here comes Tom O'Brien, who played for Georgia at the Naval Academy. He's a Marine. And his personality is very similar to George, very stoic. And here he is. For me, with Coach Saban, I wish I could tell you I signed Andrew Whitworth, or I signed Rudy Neiswanger, another great player for LSU. And no, Nick signed him. My job was don't screw it up. Do your diligence. Get them on the campus 3 times before their senior year at that time, 26 years ago, so forth and so forth. Well, with Coach Welsh, if a kid signed at Virginia, you signed him. George, not that he hated recruiting, but he's from the Naval Academy. He had the Joe Paterno in him in terms of, he'd go out, he'd do the home visits, he knew what he had to do, but the assistant coaches, the Danny Wilmers and the Tom O'Briens, Art Marcos, I'm leaving a few out, but they were really good recruiters. They worked hard at it. And for him to go down there and sign Terry Kirby and Chris Slade from Tidewater, Ray Savage, another kid who I tried to get to come to Virginia Tech when I first got there, and he would not step foot on the campus. And then go sign Curry from Hampton, literally had him committed. So 2 USA Today Players of the Year, 2 of them, Rick.
Very cool. Number
1, Tom O'Brien, he gets a commitment from Ronald Curry, and he signs Terry Kirby and Chris Slade. And then from then, that program it changed forever.
And he was terrific at BC. He really was.
And then, Boston College. It's funny. When I was at BC when we had gotten fired and the job opened because of the gambling scandal.
Yep.
It was 40 years to the date, Rick, 40 to 1996. And Tom called me up and he asked me about the BC job. I said, Tom, 2 things. I said, Tom, they need you more than you need this job, because he had the choice to go to Duke or SMU. He had an interview at Duke, interviewed at SMU, and interviewed at Boston College. And I told Tom, I said, Tom, they need you here, because it was a total disaster with the gambling scandal. I said, the only problem is you got to make sure the AD, Chet Gladchuk, who did a great job at Navy, but at Boston College, it wasn't pretty. It just, didn't have a good feel for it. But I said, look, if you take this job, you need to get a new AD. He goes, oh, no, that's in order. So when Tom took the job, they fired Chet Gladchuk. And I can't remember who they hired, but the job he did at Boston College was ridiculous in terms of national rankings. Had the great quarterback kid for the Falcons. I can't remember his name right now, but no, he doesn't get enough credit for that job he did. Boston College was phenomenal. And the job he did at NC State. The only thing is he screwed up with Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Russell Wilson wanted to play baseball, and he said no.
Yep. All he had to do was say yes, and he'd have been just fine. Just fine.
Retired out at NC State.
Yeah.
Because he was on a roll with Russell Wilson. So,
all right.
He doesn't get enough credit.
You're getting a lot of help here, Coach. They really want you to fish. Whitethorn's down McCoy Road, left before the falls, lies across the river from the ammunition plant.
Oh, okay.
You can wade to Parrott from McCoy, they say. So there you go.
Okay. I'm in.
You're in. You'll find it. Well, you'll find it. You'll find
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Your fisherman's instinct will kick in. And
Now, when I go, I usually wade that river. I'm usually there for about at least 3-4 hours. I used to go 5 and 6. When I fished the Cow Pasture River with Brian Steinspring, which was a hard river to get on because it's all private property. And Brian's dad had a little cottage / whatever getaway on the cow pasture. So Brian, when I was at Tech, right before the season would start, we'd go fishing. That's when he told that story about we had a fundraiser meeting and they started rising at about 5 o'clock. They're starting to, smallies are coming off the top. It's a great river because it's not fished that much, not the pressure. It's not that much pressure on the river. And he goes, come on, we got to go. We're going to be late. I go, Brian, they can't start without us. I usually go in there. I used to go in there for 6 hours, 5 to 6. Can't do that anymore with the currents. Getting too old, but
yeah.
at least before.
Is Kurt Cignetti the closest thing to Nick Saban you've seen, just in terms of his mindset? He controls a room. This is before we got into TV Nick Saban, which I'm not a huge fan of. But talk about the coach, the persona, the things he said at Big Ten Media Day. He is going to fight stagnation or whatever it was. We're not going to allow that. Everybody can talk about the title. I've turned the page. That's not what we're doing here. We're not just. Does he come across to you at all? Does he share those qualities, just what you watch from abroad when you see him talk and the way he runs his team?
The best thing about it, it all goes back to when you look at Nick Saban and that coaching tree, that guys that go on and have great success when they become head coaches. They've stayed with Nick for at least minimum of 5 years, 3 to 5 or 8 years, whatever that tenure is, but no less than 3, and a lot of times no more than 8 to 10. And Kirby had been with him since the Dolphins. He was with him at LSU, the Dolphins, and Alabama. And it goes back to the Bo Schembechler days or even Lou Holtz. The guys that leave, the great coaches in this business, like Barry Alvarez. Barry Alvarez has his own personality. Total opposite from Nick's, from Coach Holtz. But he had great success because he took all the great qualities of Coach Holtz, but kept his personality. And I think that's what Kirby Smart, Frank Cignetti had done. Derek Dooley was a little bit of a disaster at Tennessee because he tried to be Nick. And it didn't work at all with his assistant coaches and anybody in the building. So that's what you got to really, that's where you look at, if you say anything about Cignetti, he has his own personality. His dad was an excellent football coach, head coach at West Virginia when Nick was an assistant. Any of the, you look at all the biggest impact that Coach Saban has, like whether it's Will Muschamp or Kirby Smart, a lot of the defensive guys that went on to be head coaches, excuse me, Rick, sorry, it worked.
No, you're fine. Yeah.
But you really look at the offensive coaches that joined him that he rehabbed. He rehabbed them. They had failures. They did not have successes. When they became head coaches, like, Sarkisian and Kiffin, all these guys, guy at Maryland, they just were, all of a sudden he goes there and they get rehabbed. Jimbo Fisher got rehabbed.
Right.
I was with them. The whole outlook on the game of football, it went from, I think Lane Kiffin, if he was on your show, he'll tell you, it went from offensive coordinator, my offense, and that's the thinking. Then he becomes a head coach at Southern Cal or Tennessee, and that offensive coordinator way of thinking does not leave him. It's a two-headed monster. I'm the head coach, but I'm also the OC. And that's hard to deal with the two-headed monster. And I've been through that. When you're dealing with the two-headed monster, You get in those staff meetings. Who are you? Who are you dealing with? Are you dealing with the OC or are you dealing with the head football coach? Then it is a pain in the ass. Trust me.
Right.
Trust me. So, when they leave Nick, they become head football coaches. And some of them are still OCs, but they're head football. They know how to be a head football coach and understand that you better play defense and you better have a great kicking game and you better play the clock and you better play the field. All those factors that affect the outcome of a game that they end up learning about. They learn that from Nick. They understand. You look at Todd with Coach Mortensen. It's when they do the installs, it's not like, hey, first day we're putting in empty. The first day we're going to put in 4 wide, all this stuff the first day that defensively causes, what I call the exceptions to the rule. Your first thing you need to do in your camp is put in your base rules. I call them camp rules. Here's the camp rules. Here's the base defenses, base pressures, run, pass. Then you get into the situations. And so all of a sudden, sometimes offensive coordinator, it's like he's on his own. He's doing his own install, blah, blah, blah. And then you have to conform to the offensive coordinator's install or / head coach's install. And the way you do your install becomes so inconsistent, all of a sudden you got to start with nickel personnel because you're going to be 3 wides if you're a substitution defense. Or they're going fast all the time, and you can't coach. You can't. It's hard to teach, in between plays even, and so it's a disaster. That's what happens with those spread guys. And all of a sudden, Coach Saban, he does the install, offensively and defensively, and it's not because he's the defensive guy. It's because this makes his team better in terms of evaluating the talent. And progression, teaching the fundamentals of the game, which are really critical as you're working through your preseason. The schematics, your personnel evaluations, number one, daily.
Right.
I talked about that in your last show. You know who you got that from? Me. I was a pain in the ass with personnel. First meet, we didn't talk about crap. Every meeting, it started with the personnel board. Every meeting, we went down the 3D.
Because that can change every day, right? That could,
you hope so. You want it to through the competition. Now, you do and you don't. Like, I'm going to digress a little bit, but one thing I did at Virginia Tech, the first string, when Woody Hayes was at Ohio State, he had Big Red. Well, Big Red was the first team defense. And they were on the first bus. And Woody was an offensive guy. He spent time with the offense, all practice. I've been to a Woody Hayes Ohio State practice. He's down with the offense the whole day. But he understood the defensive part of the game. And Big Red One was on the first bus. So when I got to Virginia Tech, I had the Big Orange. And the Big Orange was the first team defense. And I put it, the wristbands, but I put they all wore orange bands on their on their bicep areas.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
And then the maroon was second team and white was the third team. I didn't put different jerseys. Bear Bryant used to put them in different jerseys, first, second, and thirds. The reason why that I liked it is because that first team, when they're all the orange bands on the first team, when that maroon band through an injury, stepped into that huddle, you better play. And then those other 10 guys knew we better go a little harder today. Because we got a guy that's with a maroon band on and off. We're going to make sure we play at our very best. And then that guy comes in and he understands what he's getting into. He's on the Big Orange now. And that was I made that huge difference. Huge difference.
I like that. Big Orange. Watch out for Big Maroon. We got Big Orange. We got Orange guy. We got Maroon
Big
guy
Orange.
here.
You stepped in that huddle with a maroon band on, your ass better be. And then hopefully, like a Jeff Holland, we try to get him to go to offense. We try to run him off to go to offense, not to run them off the program. We had 100 play scrimmage. I've said this numerous times. 120 play scrimmage. He took Rick 100 straight snaps.
Wow.
Never came out.
I couldn't do that, Coach.
Casey Price was hurt, and all these people, so actually, we were down defensive lineman. We said, let's see what this kid can do. Smart kid, slowest guy we had on the front, really was more offensive line talents. So Todd and I, Sunday, we're watching the tape, and we're going, Jesus, this kid's got a chance. He on 100 straight snaps, Rick, 100 straight snaps.
Crazy.
It turned out to be he was in the 3-man rotation on the D line. That was a big factor in us turning that program around very quietly. Wasn't the J.C. Price, Cordell Brown, George Del Rico, didn't have those kind of accolades, but he was starting, and we won 9 games with him. So
I get the feeling you could go 1,000 straight snaps, Coach. I really do.
Well, in my day, I when I was at Fair, I think I did take about 1,000 snaps.
Yeah, you could do that.
Year at Fair,
you could do that. 100%. You could. Well, Coach, listen, man, great to see you last night. Great to see you this morning. And hey, I want to know how your fishing trip goes. Keep me posted this weekend. That's cool. Be safe. That'll be great. Yeah.
Well, if it starts raining, the good news is I can run over to Rhodes College. I'm going to run over to Virginia Tech, see if they'll let me in.
Hey!
And the only thing I will tell you this: when Brent was there, I never went up there with Fuente, not because I did. I go to the spring practices, the spring game, but because of Greg Roberts, I had the WFIR press pass, whatever.
Yeah.
But Brent Pry treated me like $1 million something. He really did. He was so welcoming. It was very special, and I do appreciate it. I hope not that they have to or they should, because they don't have to. As a coach, they don't have to. But it is kind of nice knowing that you are respected of the blood, sweat, and tears that you put into the program.
Absolutely. Yeah.
In my 2 tours of duty there, and was able to, establish relationship with former players that I know to this day. It was a lot of fun with them. So,
well,
all right, boss. You have a great day.
You have a great weekend, Coach. Bring in a big one. I want to see it. So share it with me this weekend. So there you go.
I hope so, Rick. Jeez, if I get shut out this weekend because of rain, I am going to be one pissed off puppy.
I know you will.
It'd be like losing to UVA. You know what I mean?
I know.
All
right, brother. Hang in there, man. Have fun. Coach Elmo here on the program. Great stuff as always. Now he's going to have a sunny day to fish, and he'll be just fine. I have the utmost confidence that he will not be rained out this weekend. He's owed one, right? He's owed one. You're owed the opportunity to make a smart move, and that's reach out to Professional Door. Call them 674-0008. This is your last day if you procrastinated to get $40 off your preventative maintenance right off the top. They've been celebrating 40 years in business the whole month of July, so do not miss out. Now, do it! 674-0008. See how good the garage door looks? That's how good yours will look. National Bank member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner, me. 35 years and this program. They are the absolute best. Professional Door and National Bank, 2 wonderful businesses run by wonderful human beings. Lara Ramsey, the new president, has been outstanding. Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment's going through their weekend, and it's the jet ski, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Check it out. We'll get Jonathan on here next week and see how he does with his jet skiing. The Ready Set Fund, ReadySetFund.com, Bob Chris, series of text messages. So you can earn money for your organization in a hurry. If you have more questions, reach out to Bob bobchrist11@gmail. We've talked about the Smith Brothers and Sundown Electric, and look at that cool logo. Jeff Smith and his brother have taken their dad's business to new heights right out of Elliston. Reach out to them, community-oriented folks. They are outstanding. Outstanding. You always get 10 great quotes from Coach Elmo. Absolutely, we do. Lawson's Mobile Home Supply, 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg. Coach says, thanks, by the way, everybody who gave him some fishing advice. He appreciated it a lot. 540-381-8011. Give James a call. The Super Bowl hosted us, and they're going to have leagues forming now. Men's, women's, mixed leagues, leagues for kids, 382-5525. Reach out to them. You can get a T-shirt if you want, $20. Got rid of a few of those this weekend. McClellan Chiropractic, sponsor of our chat room. That's Mark Hunley, by the way, over on Walters Drive, 155 Walters Drive. And Family Fencing, they will return as our studio host next year. 540-282-94. Get a free quote today. We're going to do some more stuff with their stuff. No, I'm not going to join a league, Wayne. It's funny how many people have asked me, you going to join a league? Look, I had 2 immensely strong games of bowling. Granted, it was after a substantial layoff. People are throwing around the term phenom. People are saying that my bowling right hand and arm is just somehow blessed by the Lord above. Someone said it's a bowling thunderbolt. But no, I won't be joining a league. Wonder if Coach evaluates each fish he catches. That's a great question. T-Bird, remind me next week on its evasion skills, strength, and determination before he releases it. I have no doubt. He's probably like, he'll catch the bass and he'll have it in the boat. And then he'll start talking to the fish, explaining to it why he got caught, what he could have done better not to get caught, and what he needs to remember next time. And he'll put him back in the water. Let's go. Let's go. That's funny, T-Bird. There's Brandon. I think the team was Sandbagger, but you can go with phenomenon. Oh, the term was Sandbagger. You can go with phenomenon. No, I won't be doing a league. I think the legend, Brandon, of my bowling prowess that night will just need to stand on its own. That was, 3 money bass, Brian says. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. We got to get it. Okay, so that's got to be our talking point next week. Rick Watson is a strike machine, the hand of God. Well, you can ask Brandon. I mean, it was 5 in a row. I mean, I think if anything defines strike machine, that's rolling 5 straight. There's no question. Bowling prodigy. If I went out there tonight, I'd probably bowl a 62. Joining us now on the program, he never bowls just a 62. It's always a 262. It's Mike Ashley. What's going on?
Mine's always in the gutter.
See, this is why you are you.
Because I'm built like a 10-pin. Nothing
Yeah,
on
you're the
top,
bugger.
like the white 10-pin. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. There you go.
That's a good
All right.
I was just thinking about stuff like that. I just I hurried, got up early, had my got my iced coffee here in my Nats cup, which brought to you by the Nats bullpen, which always lets you down.
Always lets you down. Yeah.
And, I had a Pop-Tart, which I love this marketing about Pop-Tarts. Because, of course, I had two, but you get to say you had one. I had a Pop-Tart for breakfast. Of course you had two.
You had a Pop-Tart.
You know, they don't even package them where you could just, really.
Yep. Whoa, hello, whoa. Hello? Mike? Mike? Well, Mike disappeared just now. I'm sitting here looking around, and I must have been on his end. I don't see anything here that tells me that. Mike, come back! Come back! Rick was not having that pop-top story. Stories being written about Rick's bowling called The Legend of Rick, Wild Turkey Watson. Let's see here. Here he comes back. What's up, C. Lester? You were terrific last night, by the way. There he is. I have no idea.
Me either. I didn't know Pop-Tarts was a sponsor of the show now.
Apparently, Wayne said
plug right there, boy.
Wayne said Rick was not having that Pop-Tart story, I guess.
Oh, boy. Okay.
What's going on? Sorry, man. Hey, did anything happen at Radford yesterday?
Oh, wow. Yeah. A tremor in the force. Yeah. Have you guys talked about this yet, or?
Yeah, I mentioned that it happened yesterday. We hadn't really gotten into it, but yeah.
Well, it's the dawning of a new era, and college athletics beat us to that with how it's changing. But it looks like new leadership. Robert Lindenberg, a lifer, and a guy had been AD there since 2007 or so, stepping down, and so this this is a real tremor in the force, and what an arc for Robert Lindenberg locally, from great high school quarterback to a guy that he almost seems like the black sheep of the family, the Lindenberg family, choosing basketball over football way back when. And, he got a scholarship to, I don't know, people may not remember this. Coach Davis gave him a scholarship and also brought in Chris Dobbins, the son of legendary Bobcat announcer, home event announcer, and Radford basketball home event announcer, Don Dobbins, and volleyball coach
Don. Yeah.
So there were two legacies on the basketball team there for a bit locally, and I never got to see Robert play high school. I've seen highlights. Of course, I saw him play there at Radford early on, and he didn't really get much run, as was true of Radford athletics back in the 80s. A lot of kids we had that would have been great players just a year or so before, fit right in, played all the time. We were already recruiting over them to try and get to Division I, which we were by the time Robert got there. But every year we had to recruit better and better to players, and some players, some great kids locally. I'm not going to start naming off names because I'll leave kids out, but Robert sort of got recruited over, and he made a decision by his senior year to transfer to Roanoke College, where he went down and played for Paige Moyer a year and had a really great season. In fact, I remember going down and watching a game there and doing a story on him for the News Journal back when, we all coexisted nicely in the media and sports and all those things. You could do things like that. And anyway, then to see Robert's coaching career take off, UNC Greensboro, and then down to SMU with Mike Dement, who was a really good coach and looked remarkably like a Robbie Douglas from My Three Sons. Some of this material is just for me, I know, but every time they came on, I used to hum every time he walked out, I used to hum My Three Sons theme. And
I remember the cartoon feet and all that.
Yes. And that killed Hunziker. I remember that. Hard before games, he could hardly go. Anyway, but yeah, so and then Robert comes back as the athletic director at Radford. Where he left, he was actually in real estate in Dallas when he took that job, and his ascent as a successful Division I college athletic director, I think, is a remarkable story coming from where he did. He really was learning on the job at Radford, and you just walk out there and look at all the trophies and think about all the academic things Radford has done and some of the facility improvements Radford has made under his leadership. And It's really a great story, and I'm really kind of sad to see him go. Other than I know that how happy retirement can make people sometimes.
Because you already know that. You're not totally retired. You're 92% retired.
I just haven't done it right. I'm so jealous of people that get it right. Now I know I sent a note to Robert last night. Of course, he sent me back pictures from his latest Springsteen concert trip, or I think I was there, but I was like up here in the fourth deck, and Robert was down there so close to Springsteen. It looked like he could have taken the picture and shook his hand. So, that's a whole different thing. But anyway, I know a lot of concerts await him and his relatively new wife there, and I wish him nothing but the best, because he did a lot of good. He did a lot of good at Radford, and anybody from the New River Valley just is sort of entrenched in lore of that family. So
people in chat,
yeah.
People in chat asking, Mike, you're gonna get your AD resume dusted off?
I do not have an AD resume. I thought about this recently for a couple of reasons. The tricky thing for me was I worked for the public relations office when I was there. The sports information office was not a part of athletics, and there was a lot of good to that. There was an awful lot of good to that. First of all, it kept all the things we did off the budget for athletics, so we were able. I think we were able to do more things easier and more streamlined through our office. The other thing was that coaches could yell at me, but none of their people were my bosses.
That's true.
They didn't really yell at me. We you know how it works in athletics. You have the same thing. There's a hierarchy of how things work, and there's some sports that you can put more of your time into because you're going to get more reward in terms of the media bang for your buck. And back then we did that, and that's a part that's missing now. Man, I enjoyed so much getting us. I wanted us in Doug Dowdy's college notebook every week. I wanted UVA, Tech, and I wanted Radford to be in there with some kind of note. So every week I would send Doug something. Now, I didn't always get us in there, but most weeks, I got us in there because I wanted people to associate us with the upper echelon athletic program. And that was part of my challenge and fun that I had. And same thing with the TV stations. I used to. I know I've said this before, but I used to know what day Channel 10 and Channel 7 would come up to the New River Valley to do high school sports preview stories. And so I would call them and see when they were going to be there. And I said, well, look, I can get you a soccer story today. I got this kid, or, I get you volleyball. I can get you, whatever, baseball. And I had a lot of success doing that. And it established a great relationship because those guys knew that I was looking out for them too. Hey, don't come up here and just do one story. Come up here and come over to Radford and do something too. And that was really a lot of fun then. Now I feel like people in my old job are just writing things on the internet for parents.
Yeah, they are.
And recruiting, and I'm thinking, I don't know if I could exist in that world anymore because I have too big an ego. I want everybody to read what I write. That's why I'm on this worldwide network show.
All right, so now you've started it. So now Philip's asking, Mike, did you watch Petticoat Junction?
Why is that coming up?
You brought up My Three Sons. That's why. As soon as you say My Three Sons, we're off and running. People are just going to, there we go.
The reason I'm laughing at this is because at dinner the night before, we had some guests in town, and somehow we were talking all about Petticoat Junction. And one of my guests was a little overserved with some beverages and would not stop singing the theme. And it was about to drive my wife crazy.
Come ride the little train that is running down the track to the junction. I remember that.
I'm moving kind of slow, like Uncle Joe these days too. So yeah. Now I could remember Betty Joe, Bobby Joe, Billy Joe, but I couldn't remember which one was which. That was I think
they were all pretty hot, weren't they? They were all pretty hot, weren't they?
Oh my gosh! Yeah, that wasn't fair to a young kid growing up. You know how much time every time we were out in the country looking, and I saw a water tower. I went, "Oh, slow down."
Yeah, wait a minute, they might be up there.
There might be babes up there swimming.
Maybe we should stop and have our sandwiches here for just a second. Yeah.
Hooterville, very underrated, in some of the sites there. The Shady Rest. There was Shady Rest Hotel.
Was Hooterville an intentional play on all that, by the way? Was that just...
Oh, good gosh. Mind blown. I never even thought of that.
But is that right? I mean,
yeah. Now what's Hooters, the restaurant?
Yes. But it wasn't around then, but I just wonder if it was I wonder if it was a thing back then.
No, I heard something. I better repeat now. It was that they've added delivery from Hooters. You know, they call it knockers. Thanks. I'll be in town all week. Get later.
That's great stuff. Yeah,
that's
Chris
good
Leslie.
For 7 in the morning, pal. I got to tell you.
Yeah, that's for your own roll. Yeah, just like you're opening. You're like opening somewhere right now at the Improv or something. Here we go.
Yeah. I had some good jokes for that too, but we'll do that some other time. But I know you're pressed for time today.
Well, Petticoat Junction's taking over the program. Chris Leslie says they were absolute smoke shows. Coach Mabry says there were 6 different girls that played the sisters. I got to look them up now. 6 different girls that played the sisters on Petticoat Junction.
Well, that was before NIL, so you could have a lot of depth. You need some backup. You know, you could.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there we go. Not bad. Not bad indeed. Why were they at the water tower all the time? By the way, that you're right.
Well, you couldn't, if you were just walking by, you couldn't see them up there. We hope skinny dipping, but we don't know. Oh, baby, there they are.
Yeah. There they are. In case you're wondering what we're talking about, people are like, "What in the hell is Petticoat Junction?" There we go. Well, what a great segue into open mic.
Okay. All right. A little different this week because the other day I rolled out of the townhouse and there in the parking lot, a young neighbor and his dad were having a catch. I stopped, went back inside, bounded down here to the back cave, and grabbed my old glove off the mantle. I hadn't made that move in years to actually slip a glove onto my left hand and head outside to throw. There was a time in my life when I couldn't imagine not throwing a ball whenever the opportunity presented itself. But in 2006, my doctor told me I had arthritis in my shoulder. I told her I needed a second opinion. So she said I could call it a rotator cuff injury. and I could live with that. I earned it. Still, it was an abrupt end for the arm of the Conehurst Football League's all-time passing leader. Again, I was the only one keeping stats. There was a time when my trusty right arm defined me. I was the guy that picked up that wayward football on the beach and launched a perfect spiral to someone every time. Now I'm literally just an armchair quarterback. Yes, that's overdramatic. Are you new here? But the other day I was outside airing it out with a baseball for the first time in forever. Because if you don't ever throw anymore, you don't know for sure that you can't. So I avoided it. I'm calling it non-repetitive healing. I got a passing grade, and I bring all this up for a couple of reasons. First, thanks to Jeff Beeler, Radford University's top-notch women's golf coach and all-around good guy. Jeff's hobby is repairing old ball gloves, and I can vouch for his work. I explained that to my neighbors, that the last time I'd used this glove, which I left upstairs, by the way, the fingers were held together by a spare shoestring, and the webbing was attached with a safety pin. Jeff brought my McGregor Gary Maddox autographed glove back to life. I had to also explain that Maddox, the 70s, 80s center fielder, mostly I remember for the Phillies, of whom it was said water covered 2/3 of the earth and Gary Maddox covered the other third. People ask how old the glove is. It's so old, I was playing center field when I got it. I can cover 1/3 of the earth now, but that's just in sheer circumference and body type. The other reason I mention this is self-motivation. I hope to be on a trajectory to complete a bucket list item next spring. I was offered a chance to throw out a pitch at a Highlander baseball game last year, and the thought scared me to death, and my schedule absolutely prohibited it. It still does scare me a little bit, but dang it, I want the ball, Coach Guerra, and I want that chance on that beautiful field down there by the river where a good chunk of my life was so happily spent. I did, in fact, once throw batting practice for the old club team that I helped form once. I wasn't very good. Turns out knuckleballers aren't the best people to throw batting practice. So thanks, Coach Beeler. And thanks for my neighbors, Dee and Mark, for letting me play and dream again. My glove sits by the door now at the ready. All the cliches and best baseball images are alive again in my head, my own personal field of dreams. And what I mostly think is just wait until next year.
Well, if that happens, it's got to be a game we're broadcasting. You got to come up and call some of the game with me. So, and we'll just talk about your.
Oh yeah, like I need more pressure.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. Absolutely, that's gonna happen.
Actually, I had a backup plan. If my shoulder was not going to get better, I was going to do it. I was trying to do it some alumni weekend, and I was going to walk out there, and I was going to signal to the bullpen and try and get Phil Leftwich or Jim Abbott to come in for me.
That would be great. You just gotta,
two Hall of Fame pitchers at Radford. There have been other good ones now, and of course we got another baseball player going in this year. So baseball been very, very good to me at Radford.
I've thrown out one first pitch. I did that for the Pulaski Yankees when I was calling the games. They wanted me to throw out the first pitch, and I did that. So you're right. You do get nervous. There is a certain aura to that. 100%. Now I got it. I want to say I caught the inside corner, but it may have been a little off the black on the inside. But I did at least, hit the spot, hit the target at least. So
they didn't have one of those, computerized measuring machines there in Calfee, did they? Or
No, I don't think so. But the key is you just don't want to bounce it. You can't.
Oh my gosh, no. But
you can airmail it, just don't bounce it. Yeah.
Well, my arm just does not, what it once was, and it scares me to death. But I threw comfortably the other day, and it's pretty good. I didn't come in and ice my shoulder or anything, but I'm hoping I can throw some more, and we'll see, and then I'll be confident. And I tell you what else intimidating. Last year, Ralph Barrier, our great friend Ralph Barrier, threw out the first pitch opening day. It was cold and I couldn't get down there, but I've seen the highlights now, and Ralph threw a seed. And so I went, oh, no, I'm not ready for this.
I wish we'd have been broadcast. I don't think we were broadcasting that game. Really? So he threw out the first pitch. I don't think I knew that. Huh.
Well, again, back to my old material, Radford always opens with the home cancellation against VMI in like early February.
This is true. This is very, very true. That does happen. That does happen indeed. So Coach Mabry now sent me more Petticoat Junction stuff.
Oh, good gosh.
Wow.
Hey, start posting that video for me, David. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Thanks, David. Thanks, Coach. Knockers. Sorry.
Not original material. I heard that, and I had the same reaction you did. And I'm sorry if that offends anybody. But
oh, no, that's funny. That's funny stuff. Well, good stuff. Thanks for moving up today, by the way. We had to adjust some things, so thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Well, I have to duck out on you every now and then. So when I thought about it, when I stopped cussing, I went, okay, I can get out that early. I need a Pop-Tart. That's what I'll do. I'll eat a Pop-Tart.
There you go. What flavor did you have?
I change up. Got away from the favored strawberry frosted, and went with cherry frosted this week. They were on sale, so there you go.
The cherry frosteds are on sale.
Yeah, because nobody eats them. But I like cherry. I like everything cherry. Apparently, Dr. Pepper. I think that.
Oh yeah,
almost wrecked me. Although I did. There was a sale at a local store, and I got the Jack Daniel's cherry flavored liquor, and if you like cherry, that sounds like such a great idea. But you know what that is? You know what that flavor is? Hey kids, that's cough medicine. Not so great, but hey, I haven't had a cold yet, so
Good stuff. Well, have a great weekend, my friend.
Hey, y'all too. Have a great show today, and nice talking to everybody. Goober says, hey.
Hey to Goober. Take care of yourself. Don't go knocking door to door. Sorry, I'm going to think about that all day now. Thank you. I needed that. Oh, Mike Ashley, you're on the program. What did I say? I've said it how many times? You can't see Mike Ashley and not smile. It's a gift that he has. We talked about this every time. What's up, Christian? Oh, we'll find out. You know what? That's a good question, Christian. Remind me next Friday. We'll ask Mike his greatest sports memory. Your greatest customer memory should be calling Professional Door today. You've got until the end of business, 674-0008 today to reach out to Travis and the folks up there to get your preventative maintenance scheduled for your garage door. It's $40 off. You got to tell them you heard us talking about it. You've got today. If you've procrastinated, don't forget. Wayne says grape was my flavor growing up, but apparently no one else likes them. I used to hate when your mom would get cheap toasted knockoff. Yeah, well, you know, they had we had what did we have? We had Toastettes. You had Totem. We had things called Toastettes. It was by Rich Food. How I remember that, I don't know, but that was kind of like, because we went to Wade's all the time in Dublin. I missed the Wade's grocery stores. Greg Wade was a good dude, knew him a long time. And dude, I miss the deli. They had the best. Don't get me started on how much I miss eating lunch at Kroger. Christian says, as I've said before, Professional Door is the best. There you go, Christian. Get your preventative maintenance. Tell your friends. Today's the last day. I'm going to go grab Creed. I'll be back. Talk amongst yourselves. But Toastums, ours were Toastettes, Wayne, and they were actually pretty good. And yes, I have always heated. I like the way people just run with this. Adam says, did you heat yours up? Yes. Yes, I did. But you got to be careful. That can be tricky. Here you go. All right. Postums. Jen joins us, and then Dwight Vick today. We already had Coach Elmo and Mike Ashley, and we still got Jen and Dwight. Wow. Now everybody's sending me Petticoat Junction stuff. It's great. That's what's great about this program. By the way, we got the notice from YouTube. We are now clear for 3 years of uninterrupted, what we hope is broadcasting excellence here on the program, because we have maintained our status over 1,000 folks. I mean, it's going to be awesome, and we appreciate that. And thanks to everybody.
Oh, my.
And to you too.
Oh, no. Oh, no. That was out of nowhere.
Yep. We made it. What does this sound like? What is it? Sorry. It's a haunted house. Some of these things I haven't played. Snoring. What is this? Actual footage of me after I've had one too many beers. Sorry. If you don't like Mike Ashley, you are a communist. With Elmo's help, I will whoop your ass, Morrisons. I'm telling you, it's a gift. He makes you laugh. And you just see him and you know it's going to be pleasant. Yeah, we're excited, Christian. Christopher, we're excited. That's cool. It's cool to get that actual notice from you too. Because they're pretty strict about things. So that's all to you over the last almost full year. And all of our sponsors that made it possible. Just grinding away here, trying to build in this format that scared the hell out of me. But yet, we're making it work. We're trying. Rodney says, Wade's food, the potato wedges. Absolutely, man. Go in there and get a couple chicken breasts, potato wedges, and those buns, those rolls that they had. That's dinner. I mean, I'm telling you, man, I miss Wade's. Mrs. Wade's Kitchen is what it was called. The best bakery / deli ever. Nothing compares to Mrs. Wade's Kitchen. I'm sorry. I'm not downing anybody else's deli. I know there's some good food, but that was special. And when the last one left, Radford, I was just... I knew Greg pretty well, and the last week they were going to be open. I went there every day, and on the next to last day, I guess, he loaded up a box of chicken for me and potato wedges. And just said, here you go. Thanks for all your support. I think he retired. I think he was just ready to get out. And I completely understand. Weren't they, Christian? Best in the world. Keon knows he was eating at Wade's when he was a student at Radford. I used to sub the rolls with cornbread on my Wade's trips. Yeah, I like the rolls. I get that. Put a little gravy on there. Now, I never did get bacon because I never was there in the morning. Mine was their lunchtime fare, man. The macaroni and cheese. Now, see, now I'm going to be depressed because we don't have Wade's to fall back on. There was hope that he was going to continue a smaller place and just have it called Mrs. Wade's Kitchen. But I think he thought about it and then realized he did not want to do that. But boy, selfishly, I wish he would have. By the way, Mr. Lester, you were great last night. Everybody was talking about it afterwards. Pop was fun last night. That was the most views we've had during, and chat was active. It was great. Send me rewatches we get. I know, Christian, right? Starving now. Keon says, my order was 2 chicken thighs, mac and cheese, and wedges. Okay, mine, well, we're similar, KB. Well, why not? We're brothers. Mac and cheese and wedges for me, but mine was always the 2 chicken breasts. And now I can't say that without thinking about Mike Ashley's knockers joke. There you go, Wayne. Good luck. You need to call Greg. You need to find out the recipe for that. That breading was perfect. And the chicken was always juicy. Like it wasn't dry, right, Keon? I mean, I don't remember ever getting a dry pea. It was amazing. Wade's was the best place to go before noon kicked the load up on country ham biscuits. Yeah, I can imagine. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, we need to get Keon on Pop. KB, we need you on Big Dog Pop. I agree 100%. Morris says, Wade's was awesome. My grandmother would not shop anywhere else. Yeah, Wade's was great. And now, I agree with Christian. Now I'm going to be sad that we don't have, I can't go there today. Now listen, there's some good places. You can go to, all right, Radford people. What's the name of the place that has the really good chicken and wedges and they got the fried biscuits? What's up, Manny? How are you? Good to see you. Welcome back. Oh, man, I can't think of it. Anyway, Keon, what's the name of did you ever have Keon? What's the name of the place in Radford? It's yes, R&R Market. Thank you, Christian. Maybe I'll go there today. Yeah, on the corner. The chicken, they've got wedges, and then they have the biscuits. Remember, this is going to be, wow, you talk about dating yourself. Does anybody remember the old Kinney's restaurants? You remember Kinney's? It was Kinneys. Remember that? They had great chicken and the fried biscuits. Yeah, I did see that, Manny. Marvin Harrison Jr. dropping like 10 balls yesterday during practice. Coach Getter, yeah, the R&R Market, yeah, I remember that. He used to talk about that. R&R Market. Jeff, good to see you last night in Pop. Yeah, Texas Roadhouse is good. The old Texas, remember Texas Steakhouse before it disappeared? The one that we had was in Radford, Chris. I'm sure there probably was one. Yeah. Sorry, I'm answering our basketball coach. I'm going to talk to the team today. I haven't met the new team, so we're going to meet the new players today down at Radford. Yeah. Yes, we are. Yeah, everybody know. Okay, good. People remember Kinney's. Tony's now on the program. Like, she might remember Kinney's. Look at it go. Oh, yeah, you guys look a little different going on with the hair, don't we? Yeah, see?
You like it? It's kind of fluffy.
It is. It's kind of like Charlie's Angels-esque.
Thank you. I like that.
Yeah. It's a good look for you.
Thanks. I did a little rough job to get ready for you earlier, and this seemed like a good solution. Like, okay, let's go.
But again, look how quickly I noticed you.
You did notice very quickly. Anytime I do something different, you're on it.
I'm just saying.
Boom.
Just saying. Good luck finding that guy.
Well, you're already married, remarried. I mean, I missed you twice, so I'm not sure you're going to be out on the market again anytime soon.
Well, you never know. You never really know. She'd be fine.
One does not know.
One does not know. Do you remember Kinney's restaurant at all? Kinneys. They had the great chicken, and they had that. Chris Lester.
Yes.
Do you remember Kinney's? Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Mm-hmm. When you said the chicken thing, it connected.
Yes. The honey for the biscuits. That's right. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, they got those fried biscuits, and you just get a honey, and oh.
And then I wonder why I have weight issues.
I know. Yeah, Maddie, we do. We remember all those great things. Sexy Jen in the building, Chris Lester says. How about that? Did you about that?
Sorry, I didn't step on you. Apologies.
No. I was just giving you Chris says sexy Jen in the building. Look at that.
Ooh, I've got friends in NRP. Yeah. So,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
What were about Ray's in Christiansburg? How excited we were when we got Ray's. Were you a fan of Ray's?
Yeah. Feels like I was. I do remember Ray's. What were they? Were they known for burgers?
Yes, and there was one in Blacksburg, I think. I'm trying to remember where it was. Was it over?
Ray's. Yeah.
Kind of where the Studio Theater used to be, which I don't even know what's there now. But I think maybe there was one over there. But the one in Christiansburg, yeah, We were so excited when it opened, and I remember it had red and white, I think striped, like a roof going all around. It was very vintage looking now by today's standards, but I remember everybody in Christiansburg was excited.
Chris says Saxy Gin. Then he kind of gives the wink. I meant Saxy Gin. We know what you mean. You had it right the first time, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. It's nice to have friends back home.
Everybody's saying, yeah, Charlie's Angels. See?
So this seems to be a popular look then. Maybe I should keep it up.
I'm telling you. Yeah.
Well,
looks
the
great.
issue with South Carolina hair is it might look like this before I leave the house, and as soon as I step outside, it might just deflate instantly. Like just
No, I think you're good.
Droopy mop in about 30 minutes outside.
Manny's asking if you are my secret wife.
Kind of. Kind of, sort of.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I have a lot of secret husbands. I have a work travel husband. I have one who's actually works with me at USC.
Yeah, I don't like any of them. I don't like the competition for being your secret husband.
Well, at least one of them's gay, so I don't think you have much to worry about with him.
Now, Christian says this, he means it as a compliment. He said, Jen, it really does make you look 10 years younger. Not that you look old, but see, you're getting all sorts of. Jen is the reincarnation of Farrah Fawcett today.
Okay, this is getting such good reviews. I'm going to keep it up, I guess.
See what we do for you?
Well, I'm getting my hair done tomorrow, but I'm not doing anything dramatically different. So you'll probably see this look again.
No, you don't. You just go in there and go, hey, just give me this. Let's just do this again.
Yeah, I just going to touch it up a little bit.
Just never go short hair, please. For the love of everything that's holy. Don't get the little bob. Don't do that. Please.
No, that is trending, though. Have you noticed? A lot of
women
are cutting off their hair. Well, because they can get hair extensions and just go back long, just like that. So they're figuring, what do they have to lose? Trying it. But no, I would not. I've done the short hair thing, and
no.
I like playing with my hair, just putting it up, game day, different hairdos, ponytail.
Manny says that you and I should have a date at Texas Roadhouse.
Will we sit on the same side of the booth bench?
Yeah, it gives more room for the food, all the wonderful meat we'd have on the table.
And then I can pick up a little chunk of meat and feed you at the table. Hey, babe, you got to taste it.
Yeah, taste this. Okay.
Tell me the Gamecock's the best ever, and I'll give you this delicious piece.
All right, so I have a theory here about this short hair thing. You ready?
Okay.
In your experience with women, since you are a very fine example of that species, don't you believe women lie to other women when women say, hey, look, I did a thing, and they show the picture on Facebook and they cut off all their hair, and you see all these friends go, oh, it looks great, and secretly they're going, oh my God, why did she do that? Right?
Maybe some women. I'm not that kind of person. I think I would.
I know you're not. I'm just saying, yeah.
Maybe in some cases, not my kind of friends I hang out with. I do appreciate that. I do have this circle of friends, men and women, who, if I'd done something that didn't look good, they would kind of politely tell me in a nice way, like, trying a new thing. They would definitely politely tell me, maybe don't do that anymore.
But don't you believe women are pretty disingenuous when they tell other women look great when they made changes, when secretly they're either thinking, boy, it looks bad, or boy, I look so much better now?
I don't know, because again, I don't hang around those kind of women. Those aren't my people. People who would do that aren't my people.
Yeah.
But maybe you're right. That might be happening.
Manny says that I should ask you to be my boyfriend. We already am. We're good there. Don't get the Rick do, Wade says. Yeah, no, you don't like that. You don't want that.
I'm trying to avoid that. Yeah. Trying to maintain the hair.
Christian says, serious question, Jen. Are you confident about your Gamecocks bouncing back this year? How confident are you? If you had to go 1 to 10, how confident are you?
Well,
I'm talking about 8 wins, 9 wins,
okay.
and they're back with the vibe, and Shane can go out and afford to get the spray to cover the ball spot again. So what are you thinking?
There was no need to bring that up, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Before you defined it at 8 or 9 wins, I was going to say definitely confident, but 8, 9,
You can't go 6-6 or he's out the door. So
Can I say 7?
Would seven save it? 7 and 5?
7 to me is a bounce back after 4.
It is. We'll say 7. We'll say 7. How confident are you they're going to get to 7 and be that team? What do you think?
I'm going to say 75%.
Wow, are you real? Wow, okay. All right. That's good. That's probably honest. That's probably very honest.
If the thing that's going to be the difference maker is the injury forecast. We have 2 key players who are injured pretty seriously, and I just don't know if they're going to be back in time, and I'm worried about it.
4 of the first 5 at home, so there's your chance.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God you're playing Kent State and Towson.
Shush. Everyone needs that.
Maybe 1. You don't need 2. Not in football. Come on. And then you got Mississippi State, Alabama, ooh, Kentucky at home. Your boyfriend's gone.
Mm-hmm. Potentially new boyfriend. I could do some research on that.
Yeah, we're waiting. We can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Florida.
I don't
Tennessee,
know.
Tennessee at home.
A little bit of an unknown. Tennessee, I think, will be really good.
Like, and this is me being serious. You ready? You ready for a compliment? That's not about you. I only see loss. Here's the only thing that I see as guaranteed losses: Alabama on the road, Oklahoma on the road, and Georgia. So that leaves you 9. I think y'all can win at Clemson. I don't think Clemson. I don't think Dabo knows what Clemson is anymore. Yeah. At Arkansas, you love the new Arkansas coach.
He's definitely very low on my list already.
You love, and I mean absolutely love, Ryan Silverfield.
No, my date with him would be like, check, please, let's roll out.
Yeah, you're not going to have a. Coach Elmo is saying magic number is 9. He thinks. Now he talks to people.
I mean, I
wow.
want to think that too, but Coach Elmo, Dylan Stewart, injured, back injury. Those can be nagging and problematic for a long time. Peaks knee, although he is running again from what Coach Beamer said in the last press conference, that he's running on a treadmill. So that's more promising. But those 2 players, we lose them. We have some depth, but not enough depth when we have key people like that go down. It's not good. So I just worry about that component going into the season.
So Pete's your left tackle.
Yeah, he's a transfer from NC State who's been rumored to be getting over $1 million from us. And he was injured in a way that broke my heart. He was at a team function playing basketball, and he went down on his knee wrong, and he's had surgery and is definitely questionable for the season.
Christian says 7 will not save the job.
If we beat Clemson, it would, I would think.
How would you characterize the relationship between the new AD and Shane Beamer? Like, I know it's not all warm and fuzzy, but can it be salvaged? Is it to that point? Or is this just a situation where he's new and doesn't really know Shane because he didn't hire him?
I don't think the relationship right now is problematic. If we choke some games. I think it will be some more games. Let's put it that way, because last year certainly that occurred. That the AD is very businesslike and professional. So if there was tension, he would not be the type to just come out and say that. It would have to be leaked out some way. He is highly professional. He's an attorney and an AD, and was involved in NIL early on. So he's a really smart guy, but he's got a good poker face. I'll put it that way.
I'm going to look up to see where Phil. Did you see Phil still on the show, by the way, this week? Did you see him? Did you?
This week?
Yeah, he was on Monday.
I did not see it.
You never rewatched
I was traveling. Remember, I was in Michigan.
Michigan? What the hell were you doing in Michigan?
Recruiting.
Oh, okay.
I was up there and I flew back Tuesday. I was at DCA airport for a 4-hour delay, and I got back here about midnight. So been a short work week here.
Kent State picked 10th in the MAC, so I think you'll be okay.
I hope so. If we don't win that, I'm just gonna head back to the condo and crack open a good bourbon bottle and just move on.
Serious question now. So your other secret boyfriend, Kurt Signetti, are not so secret because you've professed your affinity.
I love his fire and his passion.
How about the shots he was taking at your beloved SEC yesterday, huh?
It's okay. I can take it.
I mean,
you have a fiery fake boyfriend. You got to be prepared for things like that. How old is he?
He's in his early 60s. Yeah.
Fun.
Doesn't come across that way at all, does he?
No.
Not at all.
No.
But he was not trying to hide his disdain for Greg Sankey in the comments. And Sankey is kind of he's a really annoying. He's a really annoying dude.
Well, I mean, is there really a lovable commissioner anywhere?
No.
Like somebody that you're like, oh, I really love to hang out with you and talk about rules and regulations.
No.
And,
Because I think Sankey, when you talk a lot, you're usually on the defensive and you're not really confident. And I think Sankey understands the Big Ten has surpassed his league. And it has.
Well,
that's three straight natties. Now, not to say that from top to bottom, you can honestly say it's a better league in terms of like middle tier competition. But we were talking about this last night. Chris Lester brought it up. Who are dominant programs, or how many dominant programs are there in the SEC? How many alpha male blue bloods are there right now in the SEC, if you're being honest?
Really, honestly, I mean, Georgia.
Yes.
Alabama's on thin ice.
No, Alabama's, yeah, they get included.
I mean, a bad year for them would be a year that we would celebrate and rip down buildings for an excitement here. So
rip down buildings.
You gotta keep the perspective.
And LSU. Yeah. That's your three.
All right, let me make sure in my brain that you got everybody.
You tell me. It's not. Don't tell me Tennessee fan. You tell me that every year. No. It's neither one of the Mississippis. They're going to go down like now that Lane's gone.
You think?
It's not.
I don't know. Yeah. Ole Miss.
Kentucky sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I would not put Ole Miss in the blue blood convo, but I think they're going to still be up, in my opinion. Just how
Vanderbilt's going to crash hard. They lost a lot, especially Diego Pavia. They're not going to be the same. Texas, Oklahoma. Those are the other two arguments, but they come from somewhere else. Oklahoma's got maybe arguably the best defense in the country. Texas has Arch Manning. Maybe you throw them in there, and you say 5 at the max.
Yeah, I think those two deserve to be in that conversation.
Right. And that's it. And that is it. There's nobody else.
Yeah, but like even this year, I mean, no one wanted to play Vanderbilt, right? I mean, like if you look at, of course, we were not what I'd hoped we'd be last year. But I think still a lot of schools would not want to play the middle tier of the SEC.
Now you can say the same thing. Yeah, and you can say the same thing for the Big Ten. It's Michigan, it's Ohio State, Indiana now, which sounds so strange.
Who is in the middle of the?
I think you put Wisconsin in the middle. Iowa's been really, you know what I'm saying? But you don't. And you've got programs trying to get back. Michigan State made some terrible hires. Nebraska just. USC, certainly not UCLA. They're trying to rebuild their whole program under Bob Chesney. Oregon, okay. Washington, okay. So it's about the same in terms. Yeah, it's about the same.
Fair. Yes, I agree with that.
But in terms of doing it on the field, it's been the Big Ten that's won the battle.
Yes, that's
true. And in revenue.
I think that. For better, for worse, though, would you rather have tickets to Iowa or who's someone comparable in the SEC? Let me think.
Who's the SEC's Iowa? It's a good question.
We don't really have an Iowa, but somebody of that quality.
Maybe Mississippi, because Iowa's always 7-8 wins, good, competitive.
So, I mean, which game would you rather go to? I'd definitely rather go see Ole Miss.
Yeah, because it's warm for one, and the scenery.
And the tailgating is premium, and a lot of hot people of both sexes to look at.
Correct.
So, that's kind of my point too. As long as the SEC culture is so captivating, I think it'll still have the public's interest.
I agree with that. That's fair. All that's fair.
I'm not going to fly to Iowa to go to a football game. If I'm already up there, I might go.
But you're not going to make a point to go up there.
I'm not going to be in Iowa, I don't think, or anything. Just accidentally.
No real reason to go to Iowa.
I'm recruiting in Iowa right now.
No. What are you getting to this weekend? Where are you going? What are you doing?
I'm home this weekend. I'm excited to be home. I'm getting my hair done tomorrow.
Well, be careful. You got something good going right now. You don't need to, don't change the uniform. Don't change the uniform if you don't need to.
We'll stick with this theme then. I'm getting such good reviews for it. Thank you.
You are. Unanimous.
And then Sunday, I have a Costco date with one of my work husbands.
Oh, here we go.
And he does not have Costco membership, and I do. So we're going to meet over there and go and shop together and stuff. So I'm excited about that. But
Chris says Iowa is Kentucky. Maybe that's a better comparison. Yeah, maybe that's that makes more sense probably.
Well, I'd still rather go to Kentucky and do the Bourbon Trail. So again, same.
Correct.
Same choice.
All right, so we need to schedule when you're going to rank the coaches. When are you going to start doing your research? Because that was a lot of fun.
Well, next week I'm going to be in Indianapolis for Drum Corps, which is why I wore my Carolina Crown shirt. Carolina Crown was just in Salem this week, and they won the competition in Salem.
It sounds like beverage, by the way. Carolina Crown. Having the Carolina Crown.
And then, so I'll be focused on Drum Corps next week because it's World Championship week, and you will talk to me from Indianapolis next week.
Oh, all right.
And then the following week, that could be a potential week. Maybe we do it the week before football starts. What do you think? I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got to do my research. As you know, I've already deducted that Ryan is a big jerk bag at Arkansas, and he's going to be very low on my list. But some of the other new talent I need to explore. Summerall also.
Well, we can't wait.
Who do you think's going to win? Do you have a prediction? Yeah. If you had Las Vegas betting odds, who do you think is going to win?
Well, I don't know who might win, but I do know that I got a feeling Lane Kiffin's going to be up there a little bit. I don't know what it is. I know you and Lane. Looks like he's getting a little. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
He's too ribbed out for me right now.
Yeah, I know. Right now he is. All right. Well, we'll see. Yeah,
Well,
people are asking.
we didn't know Sam Pittman would win, and he won. So
Sam Pittman shocked the world last year. He did. He shocked the world.
I'm still a fan of his. Now that he doesn't have a gig, maybe you should come to Columbia.
Well, why not? Maybe he'll replace Shane next year. You would, why not?
Oh God, please no! I don't want Shane to go away. I'm not ready for that.
Well, safe travels. And by the way, when you get to Indianapolis or before, listen to a song by the Bottle Rockets called Indianapolis.
Oh yeah, you told me about this before, and I actually did listen to it, and I liked it.
It's a great song. It's a great song.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited about it. I'm going up Thursday next week, coming back Sunday.
Stuck in Indianapolis with a fuel pump that's deceased. Great line. It's a great line. You need to listen to that. Yeah.
Okay. And I won't mess with my hair because I think this is the nicest you've ever been to me about my hair, as well as the listeners. So
I've always complimented your hair. I've never dissed your hair, have I?
No, this is the most enthusiastic you've been.
I was enthusiastic. It's if I wasn't newly married, I would have already been in the car heading to Columbia. Just saying.
Jazz would love to see you. Jazz the cat. You two are instant friends.
Check out that hairstyle. No, it looks really good. It's really good. It looks really strong. And everybody in chat's agreeing still. So there you go.
Great. I'll take it. Thank you.
So I think you just walk. Remember how Fonzie used to do in Happy Days? He'd get in front of a mirror, he'd take out the comb, and he'd go, "Hey, it already looks great." That's what you should do today. You should go to the hairstyle and just go, "I've got you, psych. Don't need to do anything. I already look great, don't I? Thank you. I did.
Thank you. But again, I have not been outside yet. That is always the big challenge here.
I understand.
Going outside. It's different than mountain air back home. Now, this I could pull off all day long. It would look amazing. And I'd come back and be like, yeah, all right. Here.
I got you. I got you. All right. Well, safe travels, my dear, as always.
Thank you. I will see you Friday next week. Are we back at 8:00?
Yes, you'll be back at 8:00 next week. Thank you. Thank you for accommodating our time today.
Sorry, it's a little bit late. Took me a minute.
I know. Well, look at the result, though. I mean, come on. See, you got a little hitch in your giddy up, and this is what happens. Boom, magic happens. There you go.
Thank you, baby. Appreciate it.
That's what I do. Always bringing out the best in my secret girlfriend. Have a great weekend. Be safe.
Thank you. Love you.
Right. Loves you. Be good. Oh yeah, hang on. Is that right? Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Gotta be careful with that. Get in trouble. Hand gestures.
Better that than Joe Cox talk,
I know, right? Gee, especially if I'm doing it.
Watch out.
Oh, Rick, really? Okay. Hey, that's fine, but no. All right. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, you too.
All right, good. Jenny Gamecock girl. Man, that was a good look. That was a good look for her. Yes, it was. Yes, it was indeed. Hook 'em horns. Wade says, "What's up, Ron Judy? Think South Carolina will go to 9-3? Wow. Well, the schedule, we just looked at it. A lot of fun today. Thanks to Coach Elmo, Mike Ashley, Open Mike, Jen, and now this gentleman joins us. Look at him. He is the quintessential source for all things Virginia Tech. Nobody loves the Hokies more, but you know what? He's going to be honest about it, too. It's Dwight Vick. What's up, DV?
What's up? What's going on? Good morning.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Well, you know what we're talking about. By the way, thanks. Last night was great. How about you? How good are you, Chris Lester, and Coach Elmo last night on Pop? That was awesome.
Yeah, man. That was a great vibe, great energy. I wish I could have stayed longer, man. It was a great time.
It was. Hey, Christian says, "Good morning, Mr. Vick, a Tech legend." Yes. See, we were talking about that last night. You are. Coach Foster even said so. So there you go.
Yeah, man. When you hear from the right people, it feels good. It feels right. It's got to be from the right people. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah. 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 I don't think Coach Foster doesn't just throw out compliments to throw out compliments. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Exactly.
So, and when Coach Brian Steinspring says the same thing, it's like, okay, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, man.
I want to talk about, you're good friends with Shane Beamer. Let's talk about this a little bit. It seems like this is a year he's in some trouble, and you know that. You've talked about it. He needs to have a kind of year this year. I don't know how often you talk to him, but what do you see? I mean, I know you watch these programs, and what do you think has happened, Shane? It looked like they had turned the corner. Looked like they were starting to come on. They just missed the playoff a couple years ago, the late season rally. Then it kind of fell apart last year. And remember, you and I were talking after the Tech game. They just didn't look at all like the program. They were picked in the top, 15 in the country or whatever it was, and they never resembled that. How quickly can that happen to a program, and what do you think, Shane needs to do to make sure he's going to be around there for a while?
Yeah, it's one of those things, man, where a few years ago they were knocking on that playoff door. In my humble opinion, they should have got in. I think it's one of those things, too, with college football and basketball now. You aren't going to see any more runs like Clemson and Alabama had. Nowadays, you have to have the ability to re-hit the reset button. Even though many college coaches have adjusted to the new era of the transfer portal and NIL, you still have to manage your roster more differently, very similar to what you see what JUCO coaches do and prep schools do. So my son prepped at Fort Union Military Academy, and Coach Bob has over 400 wins. His coach, Coach Bob Williams, great coach, well-connected, well-known in the college basketball world. And the reality is every year he gets a new roster. So every year they're in the Elite Prep League with about 15 teams. They won it about 3 years ago, but every year they have to hit the reset button. And Shane is from my era, and he's done a good job navigating the portal recruiting. But, when you talk about dominance or even being relevant, you have to be able to identify your personnel much quicker. Oftentimes, college coaches historically will like to say, okay, here's my depth, here's my positions of strengths, here's what we need. Now, you can't allow and wait on a red shirt like I did. I was a red shirt freshman and a red shirt sophomore, and I got stronger and bigger in the weight room. Now I have to have guys coming from high school, which is rare. I got to have guys coming in the portal or from prep or JUCO ready to prepare to play right away. And oftentimes, if you miss on 2 or 3, then you're done. And what you're seeing is a lot of the programs that have relied on that dominance, because like Clemson, if you look at their run, they knew they were going to have Taj Boyd, Trevor Lawrence, and Deshaun Watson for a multitude of years, right? And those quarterbacks I just named are transcendent quarterbacks. But now you may have a quarterback for 1 or 2 years, and you may have a really good left tackle for 1 year, and you have to navigate that. Shane's no different. And in a conference like the SEC, which, I know there's those super conferences on the horizons, and a lot of people are like, oh, Tech belongs in the SEC and the Big Ten. What kills me is, can we finish our breakfast first before we get to lunch and dinner? We haven't been able to dominate the ACC in recent years. So why would you want to jump to the Loch Ness Monster when you can barely swim in the kiddie pool? You can't swim in the kiddie pool, but you want to go over here where there are more bullies on the corner? So to me, finish your breakfast, right? And Shane has been able to finish his breakfast. One thing I would love and respect about Shane is he's paid his dues. It wasn't nepotism. I remember even as an undergrad, as a teammate, Shane was going to coaching clinics. He was going to different seminars and symposiums, paying his dues. He did his internships. He worked his way up. Did his name get him in the door? Yeah, but it wasn't like he got a head coaching job right away. He earned it. But it's just a dog-eat-dog world right now, and it's tough to sustain. I mean, even Indiana, Signetti has done a great job, but the truth of the matter is he's going to have to really, really adjust his roster and really reload, because it's not like back in the day we just dominate year after year and year, because kids are going to be moving around and leaving. And I don't, and I don't know how you sustain that without a creative balance to your mindset, understanding that I may only have these guys for 3 years, which is why I always felt like in the beginning, Pride was doing a great job, because in the beginning he was able to retain players, but then some of those guys came back and they were overpaid.
What do you think, Coach Pride? And you early on. I mean, we all wanted him to do great because he's a great dude. We all, we were pulling for him. Came on the show a lot. But do you think that one of the things that led to his downfall, was it more of a lack of being able to consistently evaluate talent, or was it something you said always stood out? He did not play the best players, did he, all the time?
No, and that's the politics, because you don't know if guys were not being played because the guy ahead of them was making a lot of money, or if it was a situation, and this happens everywhere in college basketball and football, where position coaches battle for playing time for the guys they brought in. And this is why I always talk about your assistant coaches have to be experienced and knowledgeable in recruiting, and also advocating for their players, and personnel groupings is critical, evaluating talent. I felt like I was rooting for Pride.
Yeah.
I wanted him. I know him personally. I wanted him to do well. I really feel like the difference between a game time decision and wins and losses is who you put on the field, right? So I'm going to take you guys back down memory lane to the 2004 inaugural ACC season for Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech was playing experienced receivers. They lost a very controversial game to USC in FedEx Field. I was in attendance with the phantom offensive PI call. They had a litany of young receivers, including Eddie Royal and company, but Beamer was playing older guys. And they started the season off with a couple of tough losses to NC State and USC, and they were 2-2. After that, everyone knows they won eight or nine straight. They won the ACC, beating Miami on the road. Before that, beating a very good ranked UVA team at home. Well, prior to all that run they had, Beamer was like, look, I got some dogs in this. I got some guys that got to see the field. So he benched Richard Johnson and some of the more experienced receivers, and he threw in Eddie Royal and company. And that receiving core included Eddie Royal, Justin Harper, Josh Morgan. He just said, I'm putting these young guys in. And they flourished. I felt like with Pry in his first few years, he was a little bit too loyal to the veterans. And I don't want to say it cost him, because somebody might say, well, the backups, how good were they? The truth of the matter is, when you're fighting for your life on the field, you got to throw somebody out there. I don't care about your high school coach being upset. I don't care how much we're paying you. I want to win more than anything. And I think that's probably what cost them. Again, Elmassian's talked about this, evaluating talent. I know a lot of coaches come on your show, and I've heard people say, Rick, we do not look at rankings. We do not look at ratings. We look at the character, and we look at their ability to work in our scheme, and they grab their pencil. We make sure that we know how to evaluate. The truth of the matter is, some coaches do, many don't know how to evaluate talent. They just don't. And some positions on the high school level are hard to evaluate. That's why the portal's popping so much, because if I can get a redshirt sophomore receiver from a mid-major to come in who's already going against college coverages versus a high school talent, I'm going to take that. You just got to make sure that guy is a good locker room fit, because I don't know, Rick, I'm just a licensed mental health therapist. Some of these guys have issues up here that don't mesh well with your team, and they come in and they do more damage. They're entitled. They're lazy, because what the portal doesn't offer is background checks.
Yeah, that's true. This is true. No do-overs once they're there and you paid for them, right? Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Well, and I get the sense that's going to be corrected under James Franklin. That won't even be on the table. It's going to be best guys, whoever are going to be out there is going to be playing the game of football. And that's something that's going to be refreshing to see, right? Should be simple, but I guess it's not. It's not all in all places.
Well, what James Franklin has is experience. See, again, experience is the best teacher both ways. I've been experienced different things. Now I learn my life lessons. Now, because I'm experienced, I get to teach my life lessons. So if you look at James Franklin, he's been doing it for a long time as a coordinator and as a head coach. So he knows different guys. I mean, it's nothing like being able to pick up the phone and say, hey, tell me about this kid, Tremaine Johnson, man. You know, he's in the portal. He played for you, because these coaches talk. Because I know this because my son was just in the portal. And they may not have background checks available, but if you're the connected coach, you can call another coach and say, hey, I like this kid, Isaiah Vick, a lot, man. Would you take him if you were at a D1 program? Absolutely. The kid can defend. He's got a great motor. He was under-recruited. He will help your program win. Or, hey, I don't know, Rick, man. This guy's a bit of an a-hole. We like him, but he's lazy. He comes to weight room late. But you might be overwhelmed by the talent and take him. But when you're a guy like James Franklin, you know, he's done a great job evaluating talent and bringing guys in. And I think he will do the same at Tech. My concern, everyone talks about Franklin. Let me tell you something right now, and some of your listeners and viewers know this. You look at any successful program, it's the assistant coaches. The Fosters, the Steinsprings, the Almatians, the Ricky Bustles, the J.B. Grimes. It's not the head coach. The head coach has the final say-so. But if my assistant coach can't convert 3rd and 2 in 3 consecutive tries, why am I paying him $900,000? If I can't decide to put in the right offensive line groupings, why is this offensive line coach on my staff? When you talk about Beamer, people thought it was just humility. He wasn't lying when he told you, I am a successful because my assistants are immaculate. My assistants make me look good because they know how to get the right personnel groupings on the field, and they also know what the hell they're doing. So the truth of the matter is your assistants have to be able to recruit the right people, evaluation, and then they have to make sure they motivate. Then they have to make sure they coach. And then they have to make sure, my favorite word, they hold the players accountable.
Yeah.
So if they're held accountable, they're motivated, and they're paid pretty good, you got a chance to win between 8 and 11 games. But if everybody's getting a piece of the pie and you're bringing in, players that are entitled, that don't know how to, operate within the team concept, you're going to have a S show. And that's what you've been seeing amongst the landscape of college football. And you know what? To be real with you, Chris was right when he said there's no dominant programs. You will not see dominant programs anymore. You will see very good programs, and that, if you're a Tech fan, that's what you want. You just want to get a place at the table where you get in that playoff or you're in contention year after year. That's what you want. That's going to keep a head coach sustain his job if he's able to stay in contention every year. We are not going to see the days of Saban hoarding all the food and making sure you just get some crumbs. That's over with. Yeah, that's over with. We're not going to see that.
Well, and Wayne makes a good point. Just ask Clemson about assistant coach importance. They have not at all been the same. At least Dabo has never adjusted to losing his 2 generals, and now you have Oklahoma being led on by one of them who has got them poised to have the best defense. I've heard people look at the Oklahoma saying it's the best defense in the last 15 years in that program, and now we know what Tony Elliott is starting to do at Virginia. I know it's something that Tech fan doesn't like to think about, but Tony Elliott is getting it done now. He's turning that program, turning the corner. So there you go. There's an example there of a national power, right, at one time that has not adjusted to the new way of doing business in college football. And then Dabo he seemed lost without those 2 guys, without Venables and without Tony Elliott.
Yeah, and when you talk about Venables, man, imagine he looked up and Bud Foster was his mentor and idol. So if you think about it, you talk about Bud Foster. Just imagine if Bud Foster left Virginia Tech in 2004 or 2005.
Which almost happened.
Yeah, a couple of times. He put his hat in the head coaching job for the UVA job, UNC, and a few other jobs.
Clemson,
Clemson. if Virginia Tech had lost Buzz Foster like Clemson lost Venables, I don't know if Virginia Tech has 8 straight seasons of 11, 10-plus wins. I don't know, because Bud Foster for about 4 straight years had the number 1 overall, number 2 overall defenses in the nation. Overall, number 1, number 2 in the nation defense. That's when you had Brandon Flowers and Jason Worlds and the DB and Vince Hall and Vegas Robinson and Cam Chancellor and Macho Harris and Stephon Virgil. You don't just sneeze at those defenses. If he left, I don't know what kind of head coach Bud Foster would have been, but I do know that Virginia Tech would have lost basically an iconic figure who basically was like having a second head coach on your staff. Most importantly, he was a mastermind with the blitzes and the schemes and things like that. And, that's what Franklin's got established. He's got to get guys, he's got to be able to talk about how good Anthony Midget is doing with the secondary. The same way we talked about how great Torian Gray was. We got to get to the point of the assistants becoming just as well known as the head coach, because that's what you see when you talk about these great programs, whether it's Miami or other programs. Their assistants are really good, and that's what you want. You don't want to be in a room where you're looking at your assistants like, does this dude know what he's talking about?
Yeah, the coach is going, we're going to have a long talk after this meeting.
Hey, listen, if you're watching the game this season and you're watching Tech, or even whatever your team is, UNC or UVA or whatever your team is, even in high school, and you find yourself saying this a lot, why are you running that? What kind of defense is that? It's 3rd and 7. Did you just call a draw play? If you find yourself constantly asking questions, you too are in need of a new assistant staff. You too are in need of some new coaches, because that means you're questioning it. So imagine what the head coach is saying. And that's kind of how it works. Versus if you were like, man, that's a great call, man. What a great call right there, man. Oh my God. I love when they do that play. That's when you know you have a great assistant staff, coaches on your staff, because the plays, the scheme, it permeates throughout the program. And, that's what kind of got lost in the Pry era as well as the Fuente era, is that we focus so much as expected on the head coach. Like you asked me earlier when the segment started about Shane Beamer. Well, Shane Beamer had to fire some assistants during the season because they weren't stepping up. Hey, look, my cousin in Norfolk State in his first year, he fired his entire defensive staff except for like one coach, because they kept blowing leads. They gave up. They were leading 6 or 7 times in the season, and they blew leads. So you gotta hold your coaches accountable, but they got to know what they're doing. That's just the truth of the matter, man.
No, I agree. I agree with you 100%. And I keep thinking back. I want to say, what was it, like 2007, 2008? Clemson and Bud Foster became a national story. People were thinking that was going to happen. And then, of course, Dabo was the interim, and then he got the job, full time. And that was close. That was close. Yeah, that was very, very. And before that, like you mentioned, too, Carolina. There were 3 or 4 times that he was. I think he could have been gone, but Tech. It's worked out for Tech, right? Frank Beamer had a handshake agreement to be the head coach, coming back to Blacksburg to tell everybody he'd taken the Carolina job until Jim Weaver said no, you're not doing that. And then same thing with Bud Foster, right? Yeah, they kept him.
I was on that team when Beamer almost took that Carolina job. I think I was. It was. Or was it the Green Bay job? I was in 1997, 98. I was on the team when Beamer held a press conference. It was 98 in the Merriman Center, deciding to stay because we didn't know. And I was asking Shane, and Shane was like, "I don't know." I said, "Man, is your dad leaving, bro?" And he was like, "I don't know. I mean, and we were there, But here's the thing: I'm gonna give you a different perspective, Rick, and I'm sure your listeners and viewers will appreciate this. Sometimes, though, some of these assistants need to stay assistants because all assistants are not created to be head coaches. It's just like that day when the principal's away and the teacher or somebody else has to step up and be the head guy or head woman, and they're in charge and they realize, damn, this is no joke. Like, I remember, you know, I'm a TV movie guy. When when Tony Soprano got shot by his uncle, he was in the hospital for like a month. And his guys that were bosses had to step up and be the head guy. One of them was having panic attacks. The other one was stressed out. They realized all day long Tony had to make decisions that were very important. And that's that's television. Imagine being the head coach when you got to fundraise. You got to do great shows like Big Dog Sports Talk and Tech Sideline and radio shows, ACC Media Days, do commercials for the local car dealerships, go recruiting, talk to a mom whose son isn't playing because you lied to them and they're supposed to be getting on the field, to deal with your wife and kids, to make sure that the kids are going to class, nobody's getting arrested. You will find yourself praying to be an assistant again. We just had to worry about your group of players. Being a head coach in the college football level pays very well, but the job security is about this big.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
It doesn't always go as planned, man.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting to see. And people have always asked me too that I remember that Packers thing. It feels like Frank Beamer would have been a good NFL coach, but the way he was more of he oversaw the program. He let people do their jobs. He knew the game, obviously, but he seemed like he kind of had that mentality. I remember a long time ago, I remember who it was on my show, compared Coach Beamer to Joe Gibbs in the way they approached the game. And I thought that makes a lot of sense to me. I think that's why the Packer thing was something that lasted a lot longer in terms of intrigue at the time than I thought it would. But it made sense. It made some sense. It did.
Yeah, it does. But I tell you, man, Beamer, Roy Williams, Coach K, a lot of the old-time greats were smart not going to the pros.
Right.
Pros, you know, I've told you my issue with the NFL and the NBA, man. You know, you're dealing with grown men and women, depending on what sports you coach, and you're dealing with egos, you're dealing with money and salary caps, even though now college football and basketball are about to eventually get stuff like that. But at the same time, you're dealing with a whole new monster. And I don't know how you relax. You know, I felt like when Beamer was coaching in Blacksburg and coaches like him, Roy Williams when he was at UNC and Jay Wright at Villanova, you become part of the community where your kids go to school there, your wife is comfortable, and you get really comfortable and used to the environment. In the NFL, you can never get comfortable. You are on the proverbial hot seat every year. Unless you are Joe Gibbs. I mean, if you think about it, back in the day, the legendary coaches like Bill Parcells, Bill Walsh, Joe Gibbs, even Mike Ditka, they had better job security in the NFL than you do now. Like, you can have really one good year, and then the next, if you go 6 and whatever or 7 and whatever, you're on the hot seat.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. You're just as good as your last win. And fans are relentless because everybody thinks their team in the NFL should go to the Super Bowl. I will always laugh at people on draft day when they spend countless hours the 2 weeks following the draft saying how they won the draft and they should be able to win the division when you're banking on unproven products where people that have never performed in the NFL and you're hoping that this guy is going to come in and change your secondary. The draft is very important. Obviously, you see it, but I mean, the Cleveland Browns, I'm sorry, Browns fans, you guys, the Jets, Raiders, and Browns have been rebuilding since I was running through Lane Stadium Tunnel. Since I've been running through the tunnel at Lane Stadium in 1998, they have been rebuilding. I mean, think about it. You know, they just been rebuilding. And what are you rebuilding? You're not you're building because your rebuild is what? Mediocrity, underachieving. And I'm sorry.
It's true. No, it's true.
I mean, think about how many times the Raiders have said they won the draft or they like what these coaches and these DMs get on these shows. They get on Dan Patrick. They come on your show or whatever. You know, Rick, man, we like what we have. And you know what? And college coaches do it too. Every media day, all those guys get up there in their sports coats and tuxedos and suits, and they lie. They lie. I love what we got. That's why when I heard Franklin say, "Hey, man, we're not really good right now. We got to get
Me
better."
too.
I was like, now we're talking. Now we're being honest. Don't lie to me, man. I'm a grown ass man. Don't lie to me.
Exactly. And that's what I said. When people were asking me my impression of James Franklin that day we hung out that morning, and we did the thing at the chamber, I was like, all right, I'm sitting there on stage going, all right, that's a good answer. I like that, because he goes, I know y'all want to hear that I'm ready to say we're ready to go out and play. He goes, we're not ready to go out and practice today. He goes, we don't know how we'd even line up today. And I thought, see, that is real. Thank you. It's so great to hear that, right? Instead of just, we're already at position. We got 19 out of 22 positions. No, just say it the way it is. We got work to do, and we're a work in progress. And I thought that was very refreshing. Yep.
Remember on Big Dog Pot a few Thursday nights ago, I think it was Coach David asked me, what was it like to play for the legendary Mike Smith in Hampton High and Frank Beamer? I played for I played for 3 Hall of Fame coaches and Coach Brower, because I played basketball as well. And you know what's funny? Most of my career, we were told we weren't that good. So, and we were winning championships and playing for conference championships. And many times we were motivated because we weren't told we were very good. It works backwards now. The hype and the media exposure and all the different things these kids get, they assume they're very good when they haven't done anything. I remember looking back at some of the previous seasons in Blacksburg, and I remember even just going back to last year, I thought, man, Tech, after that big win at NC State on the road, I was so proud of those kids. I thought that could be a stepping stone, but then they come out and lose the game afterwards. They give a game away, and I started to realize, and I've been saying this to you the last handful of years, the kids in Blacksburg and even in Charlottesville until last year, a lot of these kids are coming from winning programs in high school, but they don't know how to win on the collegiate level. Like when I say I did not have but maybe a couple of holding calls in my 5 years as a Hokie, I'm not bragging. I'm saying that I knew that if I got called for holding or a legal man downfield or a false start, that negates potentially a big play that could cost my team to win. That means I knew how to win. I saw the guys ahead of me, the Jim Pines, the Chris Malones, the Bill Conadys, all the guys ahead of me, Bill Boatwright, they knew how to win. So when I came in, I knew how to win. I knew what the expectation was. And then the guys that came after me, the Matt Lairs and the Wyatt Tellers and the Jake Groves, those guys knew how to win. And that's the cycle of winning. That's the culture you want. So James Franklin's biggest challenge is getting these guys to understand how to win on a Division I level. And that means when you go to places like Maryland, which it won't be a hostile environment because it'll be a bunch of Tech fans there. But when you go on the road against BC and you're playing BC at probably 12:30 on Snapchat or the Jefferson Pilot network, you're not going to be on the main network. It's going to be half full. It's going to be nobody's going to care about that game but Virginia Tech fans and the people covering it. Can you go to Boston College on a boring Saturday and beat the piss out of them and get back on the plane and fly back to Roanoke? And then can you turn around and go to a hostile environment and beat another team? That's how you have a culture of winning, when you can win. One thing I love is the fact that when Virginia Tech first joined the ACC, the first 3 years in the ACC, they went 16-1 on the road. I believe it was the ACC record because they were dominating on the road because Beamer understood the importance of mental toughness. Think about the last 3 years between Pry and the interim coach Monty, all the games they gave away in which they were leading. The Syracuse game at Syracuse, you're up 21 points. But when you drop interceptions, you drop touchdown passes, you don't know how to win. And I'm sorry, I know that happens, but you gotta make game-winning plays. That's the truth of the matter, Rick.
Well, it is. And I'm going to be laughing at the Snapchat thing all day.
Hey, listen, man. When they put us on when I'm looking for the game, And I put it on. I'm like, man, where's the Tech game?
Where's the game?
And I'm like, we channel WB, and I'm like, man, why they got this on this Muppet Show network? You might as well have Bert and Ernie. Why don't y'all just get Bert and Ernie to call the game?
Right after this rerun, Smallville, it's Tech in BC.
Yeah, I got my Lee Corso pencil out. That's what being irrelevant does, man. When the producers and the networks are saying, okay, hey, Jim, we got Boston College and Virginia Tech. All right, put that on Snapchat. Put that game on Snapchat. Okay, Virginia Tech versus Cal. Put them on at 4 o'clock. Put them on ESPN 9.
We're gonna try it out for kicks, see what happens.
Yeah. ESPN 9, we don't even have that channel. We'll make them put in an access code and then a forcible subscription. That way again, this is all fun and games. I'm trolling, but this is what it feels like when you're irrelevant.
I know. You're right.
That's
you're
what
right.
you feel like. Yeah, And you know what? One last point. I know what that means because when I chose Virginia Tech to come there, we were building something, and we talked as players. We wanted to make sure that we became relevant. We wanted our store, our gear, our paraphernalia in stores across the nation. This is back when you had magazines like East Bay, where you had to order from the magazine catalog. Yep. We wanted Virginia Tech. We wanted to go to the 757 in Military Circle, Coliseum Mall, and then Richmond to have our jerseys and our gear in the mall. Back then, it was only UVA. We had a few places, but then we started winning the Sugar Bowl, going in the Orange Bowl. Then we went from a contract with Starter to Nike. So I was part of that group that got us the contract with Nike. But you know why? Nike was like, oh, you guys win. It wasn't because of Michael Vick. Michael Vick came after we got the Nike contract. So you could talk about, as much as I'm trolling about playing on Snapchat, the truth of the matter is when you're irrelevant, nobody cares. Nobody, this might hurt some feelings, man, but right now, until Franklin came to Virginia Tech, nobody gave a damn about Virginia Tech football.
Nope. No.
And that should piss people off in that locker room.
I know.
That should make you mad. I don't care how much your direct deposit is getting hit for. You should want to be relevant. That's the truth of the matter, man. So hopefully they do that this year. I tell you what, they start off 5-0. You're going to be really relevant. You're going to be ranked, and you're going to have people talk. That's what you want.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, so it's going to be a fun. I think the whole ACC is going to be fun. We'll look at it going forward. But I think, I got a couple texts. Yeah, I want Virginia to do well. I want Commonwealth football to mean something again. Sure, why not? Let's have Tech and Dwight played through it. Let's have good programs on both ends. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Yeah, let's all have good program. Why not? Let's let Virginia be something again in college football. Let's go.
It's gotten so bad, even though UVA won last year, it's gotten so bad. The streak was cool at first, but I don't even consider UVA our rival. Miami and West Virginia is my rival because I know that we have to beat them or we have to play them. UVA, it got so bad. It was like, okay, UVA, let me find another way to lose the Tech. But I will say this.
Right.
When I played in that era, when both teams were ranked in the top 20 and top 25, and sometimes even we were top 15 and they were low 20s, the truth of the matter is that game is great for the state and it's great for branding for both programs. Absolutely. Beamer and George Wells always said there was room for both programs to be relevant. And I think I'm not afraid of anybody being good, but I'm not afraid of anybody. I've been a winner. So when you're a winner and you're a champion, I don't care what you do because I'm going to line it up. Let's line it up. As we say, Rick, line it up. You good?
Line it up.
I'm good.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let me see what you got. You beat me. And I tell you what, there's a mutual respect when both programs are good because then it brings the best out of both of us. Then but I think with UVA being so bad for so many years, for 2 decades, it actually made Virginia Tech lazy because they got complacent. It was okay just to win between 8 and 9 games because fans were like, well, at least we beat the Wahoos.
Right.
I'm like, but we're not capitalizing on this opportunity to win a national championship. You know?
Yeah.
And that's why I said, and truth be told, prior to last year, I talked to Norm Wood about this. He used to write for the Daily Press. Prior to last year, when UVA beat Tech in Charlottesville, you had programs that were 4-6 or 5-6 battling for a bowl game eligibility. That is embarrassing to the state of Virginia. Your two biggest programs are battling for 6 wins. That is a trash statement. Meanwhile, JMU was like, okay, Fuente, you don't want these guys. I'll take this. I'll take your players. And now JMU, they walking around the state like they the big boys. That's why I was mad at Tech when we didn't keep that game.
I know.
You should have kept that. And, we need to play them soon, man. And nothing against my JMU folks, man. But if y'all keep jumping on my pages talking this trash, y'all going to make me break out my shoulder. Y'all make me break out my shoulder pads and helmet, bro.
Great stuff, brother. Hey, anything we can do to help? Thanks for coming on today. I know yesterday got messed up because I had to leave early. So thanks for jumping on today, man. Great way to finish the week with you, brother. Great way. Yes, Perfect way.
Have a great weekend.
Man. Have a great weekend. You too. All right. The great Dwight Vick. Oh, Snapchat. That was funny. Great week. Thanks, everybody in chat. Thanks to our sponsors. Don't forget, Professional Door People, you got today to call 674-0008 to get the $40 off your preventative maintenance. Great stuff. What a perfect way to end the week with DV. My goodness. Everybody take care. Stay safe. Enjoy your weekend. We'll be back on Monday. We'll let you know what it looks like. Keep tabs on the socials. And stay safe, everybody, as we head out of July into August. Hard to believe. Last day of July. But you know what August brings? Football. It's here. It is here. See you, everybody. Thanks for the great week. Thanks again, everybody, last night on Pop, Chris Lester, everybody here in chat. And we will see you on Monday. Have a good weekend.